And he was saying it, and I knew he was trying to kill me. Like, I knew he was trying to take me.
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of liking the vibe of the setup right now. I wanted to put my backdrop, but I'm on my bed, and I had to shift my bed away from the wall so I can have my lights facing where I wanted to face. I try to blur the back as much as I can. My backdrop doesn't fit in the back because I have a whole dresser, like a whole mini dresser. So I think I'm just gonna rearrange the entire room, make it work. Normally what I film is on the other side, but setting up the camera and the light equipment is a pain in the ass. And I think that's what turns me away from doing my makeup, is the prepping part. Do you guys hear that playing, bro? Anyways, it is more comfy to be in my bed though, and I could just like stretch my legs. There's just a lot of things that are heavy in my heart right now, and I feel like that's why I can't focus. I also haven't gotten a microphone yet, so that's something else that I need because the AC is off, and I have it off so you guys can hear me. I just got a lot of things in my heart, bro. I don't know how to get that out lately. I haven't had the proper outlet to really just, I don't know, get that out, I guess. Also, TikTok has the live feature now on my phone. So I think before, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you needed to be at a certain amount of followers to be able to go on live. So I was like, ooh, I kind of want to go on live. I kind of want to do a creative look while being on live. But I don't know. I'm a little scared to go on live. I'm not gonna lie. But it would be a really dope way to kind of like meet people more and just interact with different types of people. Just create something and see like who I meet, you know? So I might try to go live one day and see. You know what? I'll be honest. Another thing too that I feel is making me feel the way I'm feeling is because I feel that God has convicted me about a certain subject, I should say. And lately, a lot of the convictions that I've had in the past, I've been able to, it was tough, I would say, but I was able to be like, okay, like, I guess, like, you know, whatever, like, I can move on from this, you know? One of the things I do want to touch about, I wasn't expecting to be talking about the Lord right now and talking about God, but honestly, you know what, whatever, like, maybe this is where the tone of the vlog is gonna go for now. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna just start with this. I see a lot online that people tell other people, other Christians, or even this might be controversial, but there's this guy, right? His name is Tony. I forgot his last name, but he's a gay man and he is looking into Christianity, right? Long story short, he had sleep paralysis one night and he was trying to go through the motions, and in his sleep paralysis he called out for Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ got him out of it. So he was like, oh, let me see what this Jesus is about, right? So he's going down this path of looking at different denominations of churches and seeing what the vibe is. But still, at the end of the day, he is getting to know the Word of God because he's reading the Bible and he's just getting familiar, and he asks questions, right? He says questions that need answers, and he's always posting videos. And the one thing that I love the most is that he brought so much attention to the show The Chosen. And if you don't watch The Chosen, bro, get on it. You can watch it on Netflix. The first 2-3 seasons are there. You can also watch it on Prime, or you can watch it on the Chosen app. I watch it on the Chosen app. It's free, and you know, like, bro, it is amazing. Like, it always has me boohoo crying. I feel like The Chosen is an amazing introduction, whether you're a Christian or not. I feel like it's an amazing show to watch, right? Anyways, he shares his thoughts as he's reading different books of the Bible. Tony has said from the beginning, he is not gonna stop being gay. That's not his thing, you know, like, that's who he is, right? But you know how the comments might go, how other Christians might express themselves and stuff like that. He's always cursing up a storm, and, you know, people be telling him, yo, Tony don't be cussing. But, you know, the man isn't convicted to not curse, you know, like, that's not what he wants to do. But I also see a lot of people writing a lot of crazy things where I'm just like, bro. Sorry, my cat's using the bathroom. I feel that's a huge problem. That's what turns people away from wanting to learn or get closer to Christ. I'm not even going to say, oh, get closer to Christianity or a certain denomination or anything like that. I'm just getting closer with God, creating a personal relationship. I think we're quick to tell people what we should and should not be doing. And I'm also going to call myself out, because when I first started getting closer to having a personal relationship with God, I opened my mouth and I was just like, listen, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. was a lie, because I still was doing it. I wasn't like convicted to do it. One of the things was cursing, right? I was just like, "Ooh, I'm not gonna do this anymore." I I don't cuss like a sailor. Like, I know people who do. I'm Peruvian, so I've grown. I've been raised in a family that's cursing in every sentence has got a curse word, and we're just saying some crazy stuff. Also, just where I was born and raised, so I'm always cussing up a storm. Like, it's so normal. It just like I'm trying my best, but that's not something that like I've let go of. I'm not gonna lie. But one thing that I did get convicted on, that I was not expecting to get convicted on, which is crazy, which I never realized how difficult and how funny it made people feel, was zodiac signs. Or zodiacs in general. I'm a Capricorn, right? January 2nd. So, what, girl, ever since like day one, I've always been like, okay, Capricorn this, Capricorn that. Like, anything related to my sign I've looked up, like, it's been no problem. Again, like, if you hear my cat crying, please ignore him. He's fine. He's not being hurt. He's not scared. He is just being a crybaby. He likes to go in and out, and I'm not gonna let him out. I'm not gonna let him out. Sometimes I remember being up forever, just like doom scrolling my zodiac or whatever. Out of all the things, bro, out of all the things, that's the one thing like I truly got convicted on. Right? It just bothered me. What was something that I thoroughly enjoyed? There's like a lot, there's the P word. There's a lot of stuff that you can get convicted. I got convicted on the zodiac signs. It just dawned upon me that one of the things that I had a lot of conflict with growing up, mostly when in my early 20s, was self-identity. Zodiac signs technically do kind of create a bubble. They are an identity. They are something that, like, they put you in a category and you're just like, oh, like, yeah, this is me, the good and bad, whatever. But it was just it was just something that I got convicted on, where I was just like, I'm not no damn Capricorn. I'm not that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it hit me that I'm just like, who are you to tell me that this is what I am? Oh, I'm a Leo, and this is why, like, I'm like this. Like, we Leos do this, or like we Sagittariuses do this, we Arieses do this. Alright, yo, short intermission. I also want to throw in charging crystals, or believe it in the universe, stuff like that. Girl, please. What has the universe ever given me? What has the universe ever done for me? The universe is telling you this. Take this as a sign of the universe. The universe saw that you were going through this, the universe gave you that. La, 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 la. Again, this is about myself. This is about me. This is about the stuff that I have accepted that no longer serve me. They're not for me. I don't serve a universe. I serve a God. I serve Christ. I serve Jesus, and he is the creator of all creation, and therefore I appreciate the universe. I appreciate that. But bro, I am not charging no crystal. Now I did do that, okay? Like I said, not only was I just big on horoscopes, big on zodiac signs, but I was big on crystal charging, stone charging. I even went to a psychic once. Now, I will stop here and say this because I don't know if I mentioned this already. Just because you're not convicted on a certain subject, thing, or whatever, does not mean that you should go about still doing whatever you want to do, especially when you know that it's wrong. I am not no perfect Christian. I am not no perfect Catholic. I am not a perfect follower of the Lord. I'm not a perfect follower of Christ. I am still learning every single day. That is the truth, though, and I'm not going to mislead people. Doesn't mean because you're not convicted but you know something's wrong that you should still keep doing it. But there are certain things that you get convicted on where you get nudged in your heart and you just feel that it's not the same anymore. Something that you enjoyed, something that you didn't even bat an eye to, all of a sudden just doesn't call to you. Your spirit doesn't want it anymore. Your flesh doesn't want it. And the flesh wants a lot. Okay, the flesh wants things that aren't godly. Alright? If I'm not mistaken, I think I still have the stones up in my window shield. This right now has reminded me that I gotta throw them things away. I'm gonna be specific also. We're also so quick to say God and everything. I'm gonna say Jesus, okay? Baby, I don't know what kind of God people be serving, all right? Everybody got a God. I used to get hyped when people would say, oh, I believe in God, and I be praying to God, until I learned that people got a lot of definitions for what they believe God is and who God is, okay? But I'm gonna be specific so there's no misinterpretation. I was trying to get closer to Christ, and at the same time, I'm over here charging my stones. I'm out there in the full moon. I'm out there journaling. I'm out there doing this and doing that. I'm over here doing the sage. as I got closer, as I started learning the word more, that is not, from him. That is not what he wants y'all to do. That is not what he wants me to do. He wanted me to get closer to him and just him rely solely on him, not in no crystal. Girl, what is a crystal gonna do for me? And I know like I said, I have a lot of people who are universe believers and stuff like that. Again, your tea, your vibe, your whatever. That's your thing. I don't really care about that. If you are a follower of Christ, bottom line is you cannot serve two things. I think that it's very difficult for me at this moment in time where I'm at in my walk to really dive into a full explanation as to what it means to submit to Jesus, because I'm still currently walking and learning that walk. So I don't want to just sit here and do all this talk on that and what it means to lead as like a perfect disciple, because I'm far from that. Maybe one day I can feel more confident in the work that I do and how I am pursuing and showing the Lord, and I pray that I get to aspire into that. At the moment I'm not, so I don't want to really go too much into that, but I'm always down to have the conversation. I'll dive into the conversation with psychic before I go back into talking what I was talking about before the setting, before we change settings real quick. But I went to a psychic, right? I was so drawn to the psychic, and my family had access to the psychic too for years, bro, for years. Like, I'm talking about the psychic they're reading on us. Oh, and I'm Hispanic, y'all, right? So I'm Hispanic, so you know that we do the egg, like the egg wash and everything. I don't do any of that anymore. Okay, we grew up on this, like, you do the egg wash, you do a prayer, you do all this, and yes, they work. I'm not going to sit here and say they don't work, but that power is not coming from God. That power is not coming from the Lord. And that's what people get it twisted, because no one is saying that it doesn't work. It's just, who is that power coming from? It's who you have to ask at the end of the day. Just as much as there is a God and there's a Christ and there's Lord, there's divinity out there that is so pure, there is also powers out there that are not of any good, and they can still mask things and act like said God, and it's not. I think that is where we the people get divided. Again, that might be a tougher conversation. I don't know if I really want to get too much into that at the moment, but I'm so down to have this combo. But yeah, so my family had this access to the psychic like all our life. Always as a kid, I always thought to myself, I don't trust you. But nonetheless, we still trusted this person, whatever. Long story short, she was a witch. She always had an excuse for us not to go to her house. And one day we went unannounced and we got to see all the crazy shit that she had in her house, like in bottles. She also did brujeria a lot, and she was kind of masking that. And then she kind of had to come forward with the fact that, like, oh yeah, like what she's doing is black magic. And it was insane. Like, she was doing this to so many families. Mind you, she had pictures of us too in her house. And she had her hair, like, she had things, like, she was doing like cochinadas and stuff like that to us. And I felt like it never worked, only because we still were a family of prayer and a family of faith. But at the same time, we're here dipping and dabbling in stuff we shouldn't have. So we cut her off. She got cut off. She kind of did it to herself too. I pleaded for people to hear me out and listen to me when I told them, like, y'all need to let her go, because this lady is not good people. But they learned the hard way, and yeah, the witch is gone. All my life, I've been able to see shadow people, and I've always been like, I've always talked about that to people closest to me, people who know. My family knows that. I've always been able to see things, and I used to really suffer when I was a little bit younger and a little bit earlier in my 20s. I really, really suffered a lot when it came to this, because, bro, who do you tell these kind of things to without people looking at you like you are fucking crazy? I wasn't in a walk with God, truly. I was just walking with whatever, really, with whatever can help me. Of course, I always believed in Christ, but I still believed in everything else as well. I went to the psychic at Roosevelt Field Mall, y'all. And I know y'all know who I'm talking about if you know that one psychic that was at the mall, that woman. Now, I worked at the mall back in 2018 to 2019. My brother worked at the mall too, and he was like right next to her stand. I knew we were siblings, and she was always trying to get me or him to, like, read her hand, do our reading. Oh, I mean, this woman was consistent. I know she's trying to get her coins and all, but she was always like, I really, really want to read you. I really want to read you. I want to know. I want to tell you this. Don't you want to know? And I'm like, no, bye. No, thank you, girl. No. Every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. Right? And one day, I was not working. I was off. And I was like, you know what? Hey, let's go to the mall. Let's go get our hands read. Like, let's go to that psychic and see what she about. So we went to the psychic. Oh, and she was like ecstatic. She was like, boom. And you know, you could pay for what you want. Like, you want a full card, a full spread of cards, whatever. I said full spread. Here's all my coins. Give me everything. I want to know what you know. She told me things that she would never know. Things I know that for a fact that I never shared online, never shared on any type of social media. There's no digital footprint of things to come, things to surpass, all that. Basically, her playing God, okay? And they were true. It's just, again, she's not getting this power from the Lord. Like, she's not getting this ability to see from him. Like, that's not the goal. Like, people can have access to your life to a certain truth, but it's not always exactly that. You know, it's kind of like the best way I could explain it. I'm so sorry if I suck at explaining this, but the best way to explain it is like That's So Raven, you know, the show. She was like she had visions, and the vision will go about, and sometimes she was trying to control that destiny or that outcome, that it still happened, but it didn't occur. It didn't happen the way she thought, and so she ended up kind of like fucking it up in the long way. That is basically a psychic. Like, they could tell you X, Y, and Z, and sure, it could happen and not happen or whatever, and they may know, but it's not necessarily the exact truth. You know, she told me some things, y'all, and I was like, nah, no way. And some things did come to pass, but I was like, but I hyperventilated so much on one topic that I was so terrified for this one thing to occur, and it did. And I spent so much time being so scared about it that it did come to fruition 2 years later. But I do believe that, like, if you believe in certain stuff, you can bring it about. You know, there's power in the tongue. But there are some things that, you know, they just come about. And something did occur, and I was just like, yo, like, that's crazy. And it also was such a monumental moment in my life, because when I had that reading, I left there completely drained. I left there apologizing to God, and I said to him that I will never do this again. I would never have someone read my hand again. I would never do that. And that wasn't the first time that I had my hand read, but it was the first time I did it as an adult. I remember, and I'm not going to go into full detail everything that happened in that reading, because I would be doing the same thing I just said I would not do. But I just remember it being absolutely terrible, 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 terrible. I mean, there was great things said, but there was something terrible about what I felt. And her reaction was the scariest shit that I've ever, like, encountered. You know, sometimes you don't think about it in a moment, but when she was done with my reading, she told me all this. She was like blocked. Also, here's the other thing too that I learned, that when we pray for our actual shield over us, you know, when the Lord says that he protects you and he covers you with his shield, when you pray for others too, even if the person themselves are not believers, the Lord literally puts a shield over you, over that person, meaning certain things, like certain people can't even read you. Like, let's say a psychic wants to read you. There have been instances, like, I've seen videos of people say, like, certain psychics cannot see because they're blocked. Later they'll find out that, like, maybe that person has someone prayed over them. So she was telling me that she was limited to certain things because there was someone who had prayed over me, and I was being partially protected. It went into specifics that I knew exactly who it was. Of course, praise God. Then it was time for somebody else to get their hands read that I was with, and I just pulled over to the side, and, you know, I stayed away from that person getting their reading for privacy reasons. And I was just standing there, just taking it all in. And this random woman comes to me, and she goes, "Did you just get your hands read?" I didn't think about it in that moment, right? She seemed friendly, but now that I think about it, like, now that time has passed, right? She comes, she says, "Did you just get your hand read?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just got my hand read." She goes, "What, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That lady right there read your hands?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's like, "So she read your life?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she read my life." She was like, "Can you tell me some things?" So, but she's asking this in such a genuine, like, curiosity. But she had this look in her eye, bro. And again, I bypassed it because this psychic had just overwhelmed me with all this information. And I'm just trying to take it all in there. Like, this woman caught me at a good spot where I just started also telling her. I was like, "Oh, by the way, like, oh, she was telling me this and she was telling me that. And she knew this. There was no way she could know this." The psychic stops. I see her turn around to look at me straight, like, look at me. Mind you, I'm across. I'm not near her anymore. I'm, like, across the way or whatever. She stops the reading that she's doing. She comes to me, And as she's approaching me, like she's like being so dead ass. Her demeanor is so strict. Like she has a straight face. Like she looks almost like a little bit concerned. As she's approaching me, this woman immediately, the woman I'm with, immediately, mind you, she had bags, she had everything. It was like a woman who was mid shopping. She had a cap on. I just remember like this woman looked like she was like in the middle of a actual shopping spree, and she just stopped to talk to me. And I don't even know where she came from. As soon as the lady approaches me, the woman that was talking to me like just dips. Like she just books it. Like picked up bags and just walked. Didn't even look at the psychic anymore. But the psychic was approaching me while not making contact with that woman, like trying to follow her. But obviously her back is to her now. But she's looking at her, and she goes, and then she tells me sternly, that woman just asked you, right, what I told you? And I was like, yeah. She was like, don't tell her anything. Stop telling her things. You don't know who's asking you stuff. And I was like kind of ironic. But I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. I literally said, I was like, okay. I was like, no problem. She was like, I'm so serious. She was like, I'm serious. She literally said, I'm serious. Don't tell her anything. Don't tell anybody anything. They're gonna ask you. Don't tell them. Then she was like, oh, if you buy this stone, if you buy this stone can protect you. What did I do? What did my dumb ass do? Buys the stone. I'm like, well, I guess I need the protection. And you know, sometimes you don't think about it, but after I'm like, oh, who was that woman? Was that some demon? First of all, who was that? Where'd you come from? Why you want to know? Who are you? Okay, first of all, what was I doing with the psychic? Do I believe that the psychic had bad intentions? No, but I do believe that psychics are full aware of what they're doing. Pretty sure they gotta sleep at the end of the day and deal with whatever they have to deal with in the subconscious, in their mind, in their sleep. But she felt that she was entitled to tell me this information, and that's on her. But it's also on me as the person who's receiving it as to why did I even go to this person? Why did I want to go to a person to tell me about my future, about my life? Why didn't I go to the creator? Why didn't I go to the person who I know has always helped me in life through my hardest? Why didn't I just depend on faith and depend on what was to come? Honestly, it's natural as humans to want to know the answers to everything. And I don't think that we are made we're not made with the capacity to know everything, because if we did, then wouldn't we be God as well? So that is my spiel on this too. I don't believe in crystals, and I don't relate to crystals because the universe has never given me anything. I do believe that that's idolizing something else other than God, other than Christ. And after learning the word, going through what I have gone through personally through my relationship with Christ, there is no desire in me, there is no want, and there is no comfort in my soul in being able to pick up a rock, pick up a stone, pick up a crystal, and say, hey, like, you're gonna give me this. The creator created, the creation can't give me that back besides the creator. Same with the evil eye. I used to be such a evil eye necklace, the thing. Won't catch me any of that. Yeah, there's energy protecting you against evil, but you can't fight evil with evil, because where's that energy coming from? Where are you getting that protection from? Then you gotta ask yourself that. Where are you getting that protection from? No, I don't do evil eye. I don't do the egg wash. I don't do any of those things. I'm not even someone who believes in good luck, bad luck anymore. Occasionally, I might say good luck or whatever, but that's just something naturally that slips out when we speak. But I don't believe in those kind of things anymore. I hope I didn't lose y'all. Now let's go back to what we were just saying. I love you, my people. I love you. If that's you, if that's your tea, that's your thing. That's you, that's your vibe. That's what you want to do. I got my friends, I got my people who genuinely are so like deep down the zodiacs. They love it. That's their tea. That's their tea. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you, stop right there. Like, I don't want to hear. No, I'm not gonna tell you that. You do your thing. Like, you know, that's you. That's your vibe. I'm gonna tell you like, hey, don't do this because I got convicted on it. I might share my thought or two if you ask me, but other than that. But if you're gonna tell me, oh, you're a Capricorn, after I already expressed to you, not like I don't. This is not something I relate to. I don't like it, or I don't really do zodiacs anymore. The conversation ends there. Okay. There's nothing wrong with asking questions or being genuinely curious as to like, oh, why? Or like those who do know me were like, what do you mean, bro? Like, you've always been a zodiac girl down. I used to be, people can tell you, like, those who know me, I used to tell them, like, yo, you need to know about zodiacs. And some of them weren't even interested, and I'd be like, no, listen, I will break it down for them. Like, I was one of those people. Like, I really was heavily into, like, zodiac signs. For me to just now do the opposite, for some people, I'm not gonna lie, I've cut some people off. Let me explain. There are some quote-unquote friends that I genuinely cut off because they haven't respected my walk with Christ. And I'm gonna need to get something straight here. And I'm gonna just say, like I'm being so dead ass, that I'm very lenient. I'm very passive. I love to have conversations. I love to have deep talks. I am as open-minded as I possibly be. I love when people ask questions. I love to talk things out. I love to come to an understanding, or agree to disagree, whatever it is. But one thing I'm not going to take is an insult on something that I am very passionate about, as my faith, right? Everybody has their yum. The second you start yucking my yum, the second you start yucking my faith, the second you start yucking, what the heck was that? Did y'all pick that up? I was really going through some deep things. I was in the midst of being very sick when I started getting closer with some people and expressing, like, my walk with Christ and things like that, and they were making fun of it. Even when I gave them a chance and gave them grace, just couldn't acknowledge it. Now, I need y'all to agree with it, but I needed people to be supportive, just as I've been supportive for anything that's been completely outrageous, right? Like, whatever, right? Friends are friends, all right? No matter, like, what you go through, unless, you know, you're hurting yourself, you're being disrespectful, then, you know, this, that, or third. But it got to a point where it just wasn't being respected. Being basically brought up as a mockery. That's when I was like, nah. Not only did I distanced myself, and I just cut them off. I actually distanced myself from a lot of people that don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people still bring up the zodiac sign stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you're what date are you? Whatever." And I'm just like, I don't want to have this conversation, especially because at work. I'm just like, oh, like January 2nd. You're like, oh, Capricorn. I'm like, yeah. So sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I do be like, yeah, like Capricorn, whatever. I don't entertain the subject, but I'm just like, yeah, Capricorn, that's where I'm at. I'm not that. I'm not a Capricorn. I'm myself. I am 1,000 more attributes. I am outside of a box. I just don't believe that anyone is. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one example of one conviction that I was like, all right, like, it was kind of tough to go through, especially when people bring it up. But it was not something that, like, I felt that, like, whoa, like, I'm a little sleepover or whatever. But recently I've been convicted about something else. I'm not gonna, like, 100% speak on just yet, like, say necessarily what it is, but I have to admit that it's very hard. Like, it's keeping me up at night. I'm just like, nah, this can't be it. Like, this cannot be it. I can pray on it, and I can genuinely know that, okay, like, this is something that is coming from him. It's not coming from my own thoughts. It's not coming from anything else, you know? So, yeah, that's where I'm currently at, and I feel like that's where my heart is really heavy. I just don't think I want to admit it, I guess. But friends is definitely a big subject, because I've been seeing a lot of people just, like, I wish that Christians, or people who are thinking about walking with Christ, I wish that others who were more biblically knowledge, or anyone else who calls themselves a Christian, wouldn't be so quick to attack somebody and tell them this is what you should and shouldn't do. There's a way to go about every single thing. If someone came at me that way when I was in my late teens, I do not think I would have turned genuinely to Christ. I've always been knowledgeable of God since I've been a little girl. I've always prayed. I didn't have a relationship with Christ. I didn't have a true relationship with him until I had a personal situation similar to Tony's, actually. I'll go into it briefly. I was 15 years old. I was home one day with my brothers, and I remember being so exhausted. I believe I shared this story before. I don't know where, but it's somewhere. I remember being so exhausted, and I decided to go take a nap in my mom's room. Now, we had just moved to this place in Long Island. It was our first time back in Long Island because I had moved to Illinois and I came back. But we came back, and this was like our first time kind of moving back to this new spot, and we were still kind of like settling in. My mom only had the mattress in her room, so it was only mattresses on her floor, her room. We had our bed set up or whatever, but my brothers were acting a hot mess in the bathroom. My mom, my younger sister, and my dad had left to go to Jackson Heights to get food or whatever. I just remember telling my brothers that were hanging out in the bathroom doing whatever the heck they were doing, I'm gonna take a nap, I'm so tired. I went to my mom's room and I decided to lay down and take a nap. I'm a stomach sleeper, but I decided to lay down on my back. And I remember, like, you know, when you're so tired, like your eyes are so heavy, you feel like you're kind of like just going under anesthesia, that type of sleep. And I just remember just closing my eyes, and it's as if my eyes weren't closed though, because I could see everything. All of a sudden, I start to hear these chimes, the one you hear right now. I start to hear that. I just am being sucked down, like sucked down. It's a sleep paralysis. I'm being sucked down, and I am seeing, like, I saw the levels, bro. I saw where I was at, where I was sleeping, being sucked down through layers of the earth. Like, I'm talking about, like, I saw it. Like, I saw the floor, and then I saw the dirt, and I just saw all the layers of the earth. Like, I'm being sucked down to levels beneath the ground. I felt it. I'll never forget the feeling, and it was just getting warmer. Like, there was this humidity, this dryness as I was being pulled down, and I mean like full speed, like lightning speed. Like, I couldn't even catch my breath, and then I just like stopped, like I slammed somewhere, and it was like a tunnel. I got up, but I'm not walking, I'm floating, and I'm not talking. I can only like see with my eyes. Like, my eyes are fully open against my own will now. They're open like this. It's like if someone's holding my eyes like this, and like I'm looking around like this. Like, this is how I can, like, I can't even move my head. I just can do this. Like, I'm like literally just like that, and it's pushing me forward slowly into this tunnel, like the end of this tunnel. I remember that the entire sides of said tunnel is wet, but there's no water. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. Like, it was moist, it was wet, but it was dry. It was dry. The feeling was so suffocating that I was just like, what? Like, I was like, what? Like, I was like, what is that? And it's dark too. There's no light. The only light is me. Like, myself is exuding this light so dim, but it's the only thing that's like, it's like on my own lamp. And as I'm getting closer to this end of this tunnel, I might cry. It's still something that's so like, it's crazy how you can remember it. As I'm getting closer to the end of this tunnel, bro, I'm hearing voices. I'm hearing people screaming, like screaming, bro. I'm hearing people screaming. Now, I can't see anything. My mind could see behind what this tunnel was, bro. And it was like mountains of people, like climbing over each other, screaming. I'm hearing women. I'm hearing men. I'm hearing what sounds like teens. And I mean, they're begging for help. They're begging, like, let me out, let me out. I can see them behind the tunnel, behind, it looks like it could be a rock. There's not necessarily like a door, but I can't physically see my eye, but my brain can see behind it. Like, I'm not allowed to see it, basically. I will never forget the screams, bro. I'm talking about like thousands. The only thing I could possibly compare it to was like, I went to Rolling Loud once, like a concert, right? Like that amount, like just like even more than that, like thousands of people. I wanted to like not get close to it anymore, and I knew that, and like I knew instantly they're in hell. Like, that's like all I said. Like, they're in hell. Then boom, like when I came to that realization, someone grabbed me by the neck. I could not see who he was. I knew it was like, it felt like a male like not even male, it just felt like a presence, and it was huge. was huge. It had like these nails, like, and it was grabbing me like by one like arm like this. For whatever reason, my eyes now looked straight down, but I couldn't see anything. Like it was all black, and he was laughing. Like it was like a sinister, demonic voice. He was saying something in Latin. It was sounding like Latin. He was just saying it over me, speaking it over me, and I knew that he wanted to take me. He wanted to take me, and he was laughing. He was laughing. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but something transcribed like no one can save you, that kind of thing. He was just saying it loud, and it got louder. I knew he was trying to kill me. Like I knew he was trying to take me. I remember like saying in my mind, like, Jesus help me, like, God please help me. And I was like, all I could just say was Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Like I was just saying Jesus. I see something from my right side holding out a cross. All right, holding out a cross. She was wearing all white. It was like like I could see her. She looked like me, kind of. I want to say, I don't know. She had black. It was like she looked like me, but she was glorified. She had a cross. She had a cross, like a rosary cross type thing. It was huge, and she was holding it against him. She was like emulsifying all this light. She was just this light. She just looked at me, like she gave me the look, like I got you. I can't make out the details of her face. I could just make out that she had dark hair, a black type of hair that I've never seen. She was wearing white, but it was not even like clothing, or it wasn't even like white. It was like a light, honestly, a light that was so. She saved me, like she just like. But I knew it wasn't like a woman. Like it was just. I knew Jesus sent somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe someone that wouldn't scare me. She looked at me, and then all of a sudden I am shot back up, and I'm seeing all these layers of earth again. Like I'm seeing everything, and then I see me being shot up straight back into my room, like an elevator. It was kind of like going in an elevator. Like I was like laying down like this, right? And I was just like like I went up, and I was like it was the first time I got air. You can ask my brothers. This took everything. I got up. I remember I stood up, immediately started screaming, crying, screaming, running to my brothers. And I remember telling them, the devil tried to take me. The devil tried to take me. And I was like, please, please, the devil tried to take me. You need to believe me. Like, I was pleading for help. I was up already. I was pleading for that. I was telling them, they were like, they were still in the bathroom. What felt like eternity to me being down there had to be like minutes to them, a couple minutes. They were like, what? They were looking at each other like, let's go back to sleep. Like, what are you talking about? Mind you, this is the afternoon too. They're like, what? And I'm like, the devil tried to take me. The devil tried to take me. Like, I was boo-hoo crying. And I remember, I was like, Lord. I was like, Jesus, what? I was like, what? I never even spoke with the Lord like that. Like, at that time, I wasn't really talking to him, really. I was just praying. But I wasn't, like, I remember just crying. That whole day, I remember I was just like I was so scared to go to sleep that night. I was like, you understand? I don't really remember what else happened when my mom came. I think I told her. But after that, I just remember that night that I didn't want to go to sleep. I was so scared. But at the same time, I knew that, wow, Jesus helped me. Like, I called out to him, and he sent somebody. He helped me. At the same time, I got very scared of, like, what was that? Why was it speaking that? And then all I kept thinking of, like, what brought me so much time. Bro, every time I think about it, what brought me so much time, I was just like, bro, what? Like, who were those people? I'm just like, bro, what was that place? Oh, I just kept thinking to myself, like, what was that place? I was such an overthinker. I was just like, whoa. I was like, Lord, I get it. I'm so grateful you saved me. But my mind kept focusing on, like, what was that place? And I kept thinking, like, what did I do? Like, I kept thinking, Lord, I'm only 15. Like, what did I do? Like, are you trying to warn me? Am I going to hell? I was like, is that where I'm going to go? I'm like, if I go to sleep, is that thing gonna get me again? Like, I just kept thinking, like, what is it? It just got worse. Like, there all of a sudden, like, I wasn't having sleep paralysis type thing, but I was seeing things. I lived behind a cemetery. Like, my yard, like, this was my yard, a fence, cemetery, straight up cemetery. So after that moment, I started to see shit in my house all the time. I saw a little boy. I saw what was a little boy. I mean, like, see things straight up. And it wasn't just me. Like, my whole family saw it. Like, shit got real. Like, shit got really real. But I remember I was like, I locked in with the Lord at that point. And I said, ooh, Now, I wasn't living life correctly. I was still acting a hot mess, still doing things. I was still messing with people, having situationships with people that I shouldn't have been having a situation with. I still have family members. Like, I was still connected with family members I shouldn't have been connected with to begin with. Like, I was in that decision of like, oh, you gotta cut certain people off. Like, you gotta let go of this lifestyle. Like, you gotta like move on here. You gotta do this. Like, I don't blame Tony. Like, well, he's doing right now. I get you. Like, you find the Lord, lock in with the Lord. And he ended up having sleep paralysis again. He just recently shared that he ended up having it again. Like, whoa, like, like, what the heck? So, I thought too that after that moment I was never gonna have it, but no, like, it got worse. Like, if anything, yeah, man, certain things started happening. But I started to grow closer with God, and I know he is like the most comforting father there is. He's very real. He shows up for people in different ways. He shows up for me sometimes not in the ways that I wish sometimes, but he shows up in the ways that I need it. I lack nothing when it comes to just being here, like being alive. Like, life had gotten pretty hard after that point. 2 years after that whole situation, it was the first time that I got sick. I started having health issues, and faded away, got better, and then when the 2020 came around, that's when things turned, and I went down a hill of having a lot of health issues that changed my life. They made me mourn and grieve what I knew was me. A lot of things changed. So I learned a lot. So I say all this to say, I don't even know. I think I just wanted to talk about the Lord here and my experience. I had many testimonies. I had instances where, like, I could have died. Not just with my health, but people. That is good. I wouldn't change anything. Like, the Lord is great. I love the Lord. I feel like if you see people going into that, let's not be quick to attack them. And if you're not someone who's religious, or if you're not somebody who wants to hear about God or whatever, but you got a loved one who is turning their way into them, I think we need to be more receptive and be kinder to maybe ask questions over just being so quick to be like, ooh, boo, you're whack, or look at this, like, religious psycho. Oh my God, religious psychosis, bro. Oh, you're just doing this because this, that, or third is happening. Give people a chance, all right? Give people a chance. I don't play about God. I will cut you off so quick. If I see that you are someone that is not coming from a place of love and kindness and a place of wanting to learn, you're just gonna be weird, I'm gonna cut you off straight up. I do not care. I've done it. I'll do it every time. Does not matter. I kind of do feel a little better after speaking about that. I think I know what to do. I think I'm just gonna focus on creating the content that I need to create and seeing what happens. But yeah, girl, that's it. I was supposed to do my makeup. I was talking about this, but it was just me and you, girl. Alright, y'all, so it's about to be 3:08. No, whoa, I'm lying. It's 3:32, and I just finished my half makeup pixelated look. Get into the details. The shading. Am I tired? No, not a single bit, and that is a problem, because why am I up? It's no in between for me, okay, y'all? It's either I am in bed by 8 or I'm in bed by like 5 in the morning. Alright, y'all, I really had time to take out everything on my makeup. It is now 4. Hold on, let me double check. Now I've been like babbling. It's now 4:08, and that's the realistic like time frame of when I am done. Like, it takes me about 30 minutes to take my pictures, finish up any transitions or any content, and also take up backup videos just in case I might need it for later transition videos or montages or whatever the case may be. But bro, like, I love that eye glam, bro. That shimmer is crazy. I love the way it makes the brown eyes pop out, really. I feel like my brown eye girlies need more love. This pretty girl's gotta hit the hay, y'all. After I wash this makeup. Oh my gosh, brother.